The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's happening, Octo Nation? Today we're going to be taking a look at something I think is a little bit cooler than the one we were talking about yesterday. What do you think? It's going to be talking about space. It's a Tesla SpaceX play. It's a supplemental play to SpaceX to Tesla. It's a SPAC that no one's talking about. A couple people are, but this thing just got stock twits. It didn't even have one was it like 3 days ago? That's cool, because it's not cool yet, which means we can get a little bit earlier, even though it's already been announced. So Salim, like y'all, says, hey, Charlie, hey, good job with the channel. Hey, thanks. What do you think about the SPAC SRAC? They merged with Momentus. Maybe Chamath missed it. I agree. You know, if Chamath would have got this one, it would have went to the moon. It would have left Earth and went to the moon. Have a great day, Salim. So, Stable Road Acquisition Corp is the official name. Ticker SRAC. They launched November 8th, 2019. The units come with a half warrant. The target, what's the target and why? Was no one talking about it? When they launched, their target was, while the company may pursue an initial business combination target with any business or industry, it intends to focus its search on companies in the bus industry, which are compliant with all applicable laws and regulations within the jurisdictions in which they are located to operate. That's why, right? It was the leaf green industry. That's why no one knew about this. I mean, out of nowhere, these guys pivoted to rockets. I think it's kind of funny. So you just never know, right? Go from that to rockets, and then I don't know. Maybe they hid this from the people, or maybe the people making the rockets thought that was cool. What do you think? So here's some cool news about Momentus. Them and EnduroSat signed 2 launch agreements. And space transportation provider Momentus announced agreements June 16th with Bulgaria's EnduroSat to provide transportation for 2 cubesats scheduled to launch on the SpaceX Falcon 9, the Tesla SpaceX Falcon 9 rideshare flight in February 2021. Under the agreement, Momentus will include Kuwait's first spacecraft, the QMR-QWT, EnduroSat's shared platform for applied research and technology affirmation, Spartan, in its Vigoride orbit transfer vehicle from Falcon 9 launch. At the conclusion of the Falcon 9 flight, Vigoride will transport the cubesats to different orbits. Spartan, a 6-unit CubeSat, is home to 7 technology demonstrations and commercial payloads, according to June 16th news release. EnduroSat intends the mission to serve as a pilot for the shared satellite service. So, the cool thing about this play is they basically go up into space. They can take things that are up there and move them. So say Europe or Kuwait or Russia or United States, wherever, has a rocket or a satellite somewhere. Momentus comes up, attaches to it somehow, and moves it wherever they want. So this is a supplemental play to all things up in the sky, way up in the sky, which is cool. It's like a middleman play, but you know, they're working with all the big boys. You know, I mean, what other hype can you get with Tesla, right? I mean, that's the one you want to pair with. Do all the Tesla boys and girls know about this yet? No, because if they did, this thing would be to the moon, but it's not yet. For the shared missions, EnduroSat plans to handle integration, validation, testing, launch, and operations of the satellite and payload. EnduroSat customers will have access to the payload. The goal is to provide easy access to space for visionary entrepreneurs, scientists, and technologists, helping them drive innovation at the final frontier, EnduroSat CEO said. Let's move on to another article. Momentus to provide in-space transportation services to its customers on the SpaceX Small Sat rideshare program. Service deliver customers satellites to multiple custom orbits from a single Falcon 9 launch. So, Falcon 9 is a spaceship from SpaceX that shoots up, and they have several of these things riding with it or in it, and they're going to let them out and they're going to move stuff around for them. We're excited to have Momentus as SpaceX's first customer as a dedicated small satellite rideshare mission. Wayne Shotwell, President and Chief Operating Officer at SpaceX. So as you can tell, they've had multiple things coming out where they're helping out multiple different places, right? So let's move on to the investor presentation here. Want to take a look at the offering size. This is actually pretty big. Stable Road is publicly listed special purpose acquisition company with $173 million cash held in trust. They raised $175 million in PIPE commitments, including $10 million from Stable Road before the transaction announced. The PF enterprise value of $1.2 billion with well-capitalized balance sheet implies an attractive valuation versus peer averages. 80% discount to relative value. It's huge. Post-transaction, Momentus will have $310 million in cash to enhance the operations growth and path to profitability. No additional capital needs expected prior to achieving the profitability. So they're good. They need the $300 million. That's going to get them what they need to join up and get the rest of stuff they need to get done. 75% of existing Momentus shareholders, 14% SPAC and founder shares. That's totally normal right in there, about 14%. And 12% from the PIPE. The PIPE guys came on almost. It rode Momentus a unique and compelling opportunity to invest in the only publicly traded pure-play commercial space company capable of revolutionizing space infrastructure and the broader space economy. How cool is this? So the company overview: first mover in providing space transportation infrastructure services, space transportation first hub and spoke model of space, providing last mile delivery in partnerships with key launchers such as SpaceX. So they're doing the last mile delivery. If someone needs something brought to somewhere over there, these are the guys, right? It's the workhorse of the space. Satellite and as a service, hosted payload services that significantly decrease the cost of developing, launching, and maintaining satellites. So it helps with maintaining the satellites. That's crazy. In orbit service, maintaining, repairing, and refueling satellites in orbit. Okay, so it goes and repairs them and works on them up there. That is crazy. Groundbreaking water propulsion technology that significantly reduces costs and is reusable. Successfully tested water-based propulsion technology on a demo flight launched in 2019 is still operational today. Founded in 2017 in Santa Clara, California. That's a lot to accomplish in only 3 years, right? If you ask me. Only 3 years to develop all that. It's kind of cool, they're probably pulling water from the atmosphere somehow up there, and just like we were talking about yesterday with those solar panels, water solar panel things, and they're using that to thrust. So they don't even need to put out gasoline or whatever, or rocket fuel. They're using water to propel itself. It's pretty neat. Partner with Made in Space, Global Ground Station, SpaceX, NASA, all the other big boys. Strong backlog, 90 million. Pipeline under negotiation, conservation, 1.1 billion. Steady EBITDA margins, 60%. That's good. Exceptional team, of course. All the team pretty much has the background in space. Air Force. Then there's guys with Luminar. Whoa. Background with Luminar and Google. That's interesting. I wonder if they use the Luminar, satellite, the GORS, GMHI, right? I wonder if they're using that to navigate. Our vision, a future where humanity is equipped with all its needs to flourish throughout the solar system. Our mission: provide the infrastructure services that support all industries beyond Earth. Market opportunity: space economy worth $415 billion today, expected to grow to $1.4 trillion over the next decade. That is crazy. Momentus Overview: services for the space economy. So long-term asteroid and moon mining. Moon mining utilizes its situ resource for fueling and manufacturing. So I guess they can literally go up to asteroids and moons and mine them for something. For fuel and manufacturing? I don't know. What do you think? Pull water from one of them or something? Space transportation: developing and operating extremely capable power space platforms which can be used to transfer cargo in space. Long-term energy and data processing, paving the way for future in-space energy production for in-space applications such as data processing, manufacturing. Built building extremely large next generation structures that could only exist in zero gravity. So they're making them so they're like adaptable. So they've got like this head, and then they've got little octopus arms that will come out and attach, but then they can attach these things to other ones and just hang out. Satellite as a service capable of hosting and providing power for customers' payloads. In-orbit servicing, enabling full reusability for in-space vehicles through refueling, lifetime extension, and relocation of satellites, deorbiting, repairing, and in-space assembly. So they can move stuff around, customer satellites. Yeah, then so there's customer satellites, then they get their Momentus transfer vehicle. Oh, and here's the rocket coming up. And then they can split off to multiple transfer vehicles. This is sick. How do they do this in 3 years? I don't know. Significant price advantages. Dedicated small rocket launch to final orbit, $70,000 per kilogram. Rideshare to initial orbit and transfer with own propulsion system to final orbit, $50,000 per kilogram. The rideshare on large rocket with travel last mile with Vigoride transfer vehicle, $15,000 per kilogram. So they are saving people a lot of money. A lot. Like 3x their money by doing this, and not having to use rocket fuel too, because they got the water propulsion. This is pretty incredible if you ask me. They can move stuff around up there. Reinventing the satellite model is significantly lower costs. They're only going to charge like basically $1 million a year, where the traditional platform is going to cost people like $10 million a year. So that is a huge reduction. $10 million a year to $1 million a year. The life extension, repositioning, refueling, deorbiting. So even taking satellites, they even help to take satellites back down to Earth. Wow. That is crazy. So first hire in 2018, basically. So the launch of the Falcon 9 is actually happening in December of this year. You know that's going to get hyped from that, if you ask me. You know it. Because Tesla's going to be launching something like a month and a half from now. And they've also got 3 other launches past that are already slated for 2021. That's great. Rapid growth in space transportation. So basically, we need more and more and more satellites. There's going to be 10,000 plus satellites up there by 2030. Right now there's like 500 satellites up there, but there will be 10,000. It's absolutely incredible. Why is this disruption happening? I don't know. Rockets are getting bigger and cheaper. Okay, there you go. Okay, so there you go. The Falcon 9 is, looks like it's like a quarter or a fifth of what they're looking to be launching in 2022. So in 2022, they'll be able to bring a lot more up per ride. So the bigger the rocket, bringing them up, the more they can bring up. Pretty interesting. Small sat LEO market offers rapid short-term growth. Smallest to LEO TAM, not sure exactly what to say. Smallest mass to LEO, I think it's just, growth. Smallest market expansion, it's great. Expanding the market. I'm not going to act like I know what all this is. Low Earth orbit, Van Allen orbit. Exciting near-term opportunities beyond the LEO market. So I think what they're saying is they can go farther than a lot of people, beyond the geosynchronous orbit. I think so. A low Earth orbit, yeah. So they can go like above where other ones can't. And it looks like over time we're going to continue to move towards that more and more. Product roadmap addressing all markets. So they got like a small one, a medium one, and a large one. Crazy. Space transportation forecast keeps going up. Look at these things, man. I don't know. It's a trip to me. They've got all this technology. Look at this. Momentum and capability with leading launchers. So JK Launch Services, Blue Origin, SpaceX Realty. All of them, right? We've also got these important logos here. Amazon, Apple, and Starlink. Android and Fevride use cases to provide compelling cost time advantages for deployment of mega constellations. Ongoing demand to be driven by maintenance in mega constellations. A lot of this is way over my head. I think space stuff is pretty cool. You know, satellites as service is just going up. The market, I think looks like a good time to come in, right? Market's going up. I don't know. Cash flow probably doesn't look very good. Actually, it's going up a little bit. Well, they're projected to go up. Right now, it looks like they're down probably 28 million, which is not a lot, really, in this space. I'm actually still surprised about that. How can you make rockets like this and accomplish what they have in that little time period and only be down 28 million for the year? If you ask me, that's pretty darn good. I think something like that would cost like hundreds of millions or something. I don't know. Space renewable energy. The largest source of energy in the solar system is the sun. Every square foot of surface in space gets 10 times more energy in space than on Earth. Wow. Traditional photovoltaic solar panels are competitive in space only for smaller power uses. Solar thermal systems using steam turbines and generators are more efficient at the hundreds of kilowatt per hour level. Advantages: lower cost, scalability, radiation tolerance, and availability of technologies. Wow. So the solar panel and data centers are potentially a $1.4 trillion opportunity by 2050. Oh, so some of these stations they're setting up are just big solar panel things. So they're setting up like a big old solar panel energy setup, a big Death Star of energy where people just go plug in. Dude, this is rad, man. In space mining of water and resources, straight up. Asteroid and moon mining, potentially a massive opportunity. The abundance of water in asteroids, I had no idea. The moon and Mars, and ease of extraction and storage position water as the first and primary extraterrestrial mined resource. Iron and nickel as primary construction materials, as well as regolith for radiation shielding, will be used to build megastructures in space, including space solar power stations and permanent human space habitats. Okay, so they're literally going to build like little floating cities. Precious and rare metals with several magnitudes larger concentration in some of the types of asteroids will be the main source of these metals for the industries of the future. Who would have known that you can just go attach onto an asteroid and suck water out of it and then use that as your gasoline? Holy Toledo, man. Momentous opportunity, first mover to provide space transportation infrastructure services to the space economy. Rapid near-term expected growth driven by disruptive tailwinds in commercial space, breakthrough water-based propulsion, significant customer traction and deep integration with industrial leaders, clear path to profitability, and 1 billion EBITDA, massive long-term growth opportunities beyond current business plan, well-seasoned team, experienced aerospace propulsion and robotics piloted by visionary leader and innovators. I just can't believe that they were able to pull this off in that amount of time. There's only going to be 151 million shares. It's not that bad. It's a little bit higher than some, but it's also a lot lower than some too. It's like half of a couple out there, right? Which one's launching with like 300 million? I can't even remember right now. Is it SPAC? Is it Spartans? Aren't they launching with like 300 million shares, which is double? I don't know. What do you think? You know, they're going to have plenty of cash to go and do whatever they need to do. I already went over those numbers. So select peers operational benchmark. So they're showing large defense and space revenue and growth, like they're paired with Boeing, Thales, Airbus. The revenue growth they're actually showing is better than Virgin Galactic. I love this. It's a middleman play. Easier profit, right? They're going to be way more profitable than Aerojet Rocketdyne and Avio. I love that they're saying straight up, we are way more profitable. And the growth is way, way, way more. 282% compared to nothing to Virgin Galactic by 2024. Bam, wow. Select peers, valuation, benchmarking. Virgin Galactic, it's showing the internal value Momentus is a 1-6. So you're saying they're just worth more per pound per square inch, right? Transaction price at a discount to peers and multiples. Fantastic. That's it. What do you think? This kind of blew my mind, right? I think at face value, people are like, what? It's just something that like moves stuff up there, but I think people realize you can mine, they're going to mine the asteroids and pull water, and then they're the middleman for all the companies that are already paired with them all. I think it's sick. They've done some hype. They had a CNBC interview. This guy did really well. You know, this is the SPAC dude from Momentus to go public. Go check that out on CNBC if you want the links and all that. They're always here down in the description. You know, go to my site and just go to here and check it out. This guy kind of pumped me up, and that's why I was like, I gotta do this video too. So they said behind the $1.2 billion SPAC to take space services company Momentus public. And then, so check this out. Check this out. Sam Chorus, dude works for ARK. The old ARK sheeple out there. People that are bound to ARK, check it out. Robotics, EVs, energy, right? Y'all know about ARK. I'm sure you do if you watch my channel. If not, they're like a big investment firm that basically invests in stuff that's like robotics, electronic vehicles, energy storage, and a random Chamath SPAC that doesn't make any sense. But he said, let's see, interesting to see Momentus and Rocket Lab take unique approaches to meet small satellite demand. Momentus with last mile orbit delivery, Rocket Lab with small rockets. So why am I bringing this up? Because this dude is talking about it. ARK is currently not invested in them. But if one of the head dudes for ARK is starting to talk about it and how cool they are, and this is what should totally fit in ARK's investment portfolio. They're big on like Tesla, they got Workhorse, stuff like that. Disruptive big technology boomers. This would fit perfect in ARK's portfolio. Why do we care? Because people literally invest in companies only after ARK invested in them. People use this as the benchmark leader for investing. They just do. So that's something to keep in mind, right? They're not invested now, but guess what? The second or if ARK ever does invest in them, not only is the stock going to go up, but people are going to freak out because they'll be like, oh, ARK invested, I have to jump in now. And all the people, all the wolves that are already in when they're not that cool, are like, come on, sheep, head on over here. We're ready for you. 50% of our money, please. We'll take it. So what do you think? You guys going to jump into this one? Oh, yeah, by the way, the price, the warrants were sitting like 50 cents because no one wanted it because everyone thought it was going to be. They zipped to like $2 and they've been chilling there, right? $2, I don't like getting around $2 for SPACs, for warrants. I think you'd probably still be fine long term for sure, but in this exact timing of market, I don't know. The commons though, they're sitting like $10.50 ish. For me, that, you know, of course, is the safer play to get in. You won't multiply as fast, but to me, the risk reward on buying in a company this cool that no one really even knows about still at almost near the floor. Worst case scenario, you can lose 5% or whatever, close to that ish. I don't know. What do you think? You can jump in. So one of our Patreons. Oh wait, before that, don't forget about GIX, GIX, Giga Capital number 2. They also have the third one out, which means the 2 is probably pretty much done. If you haven't seen my video on GIX, check it out. That is another space play that is total speculation, but we're thinking that they're going to actually bring someone like Firefly, but definitely something to do with space, because the big boy teams that they brought in are paying monster money, are nationwide, worldwide top dogs for all space, every category. Why would they have those guys on their team if it's not going to be about space? So hopefully it's Firefly. If not, it's going to be somewhere else with space. I think space is the unexplored frontier that we need to keep going through. The future of space, I think, is going to be massive. Just like these people were saying, I totally agree. One of our Patreon subscribers was asking about CCX. He's asking, what do I think about what's going to happen after its ticker change? I think the same thing that usually happens after ticker changes. Numbers don't lie. Most SPACs after ticker change go down. So more than likely it will go down. Could it go up? Yeah, it could, but there's a reason I don't hold anything through merger. You know, unless it's like a, if maybe an option call or something that have a way out or something, then whatever, I'll just let it ride. Because a lot of times, no matter what, they'll dump down. If they are really good, eventually they'll start going back up. But most of the time, they just fizzle out and go down. Again, the problem with CCX, great, amazing team, clients, that whole thing. We're going to get into them, by the way, maybe tomorrow. But anyways, the problem with it is the sector. That's one that on paper looks amazing, all right? But I hate the sector personally. It's health. You know how I feel about healthcare and stuff like that. I don't like touching it. I don't like anything to do with it. I think the whole thing is corrupt and messed up, and I just don't even want to touch it, right? Of course, there's money to be made in it. The numbers look good. I think it's going to have some big support from the blue chipper type of people once they get a hold of it or finally hear about it. I think long term it will probably do really well, but again, chances are it will go down after merger. It could go up, just might, but that's my thoughts. My subscribers for the Patreon also found out yesterday that the SBE switchback energy options are out. If you were to jump in these yesterday, you'd already be up like 78 or 9% today. Did any of my Patreon jump in on this? Let me know. Is it too late to get into the SBE? I don't think so whatsoever. This is the elephant. Remember that person we were talking about yesterday? They brought up, don't deny, don't run away, don't fear the elephant in the room. SBE, switchback energy with ChargePoint, right? They are the elephant in the room for electronic vehicle charging by far. They are the big dogs going international, going huge. Just got the SPAC money now. Dude, they're the elephant in the room. I don't know what they're sitting at, about 12 or something like that. 14. That's nothing for them. And if you look, like compared to a lot of SPACs in the past couple of weeks, they kind of went down, right? But not that bad. Not compared to a lot of them. HCAC and all the other ones, man, they got just ripped. SBE pretty much held all right, that's what I think. Also, this dude, Kyle Bass, came out today and said, hey, today we filed a 9% ownership stake in Switchback Energy. Switchback is merging with ChargePoint, which is already the largest electronic vehicle charging network in the United States. With 4,000 commercial customers, 62% of the Fortune 50 are using ChargePoint. If you haven't seen my video on SBE or ChargePoint, go check it out. I've done a couple videos on them. So the stock started going up a little bit because of this. Let's do it here. I'm going to buy 9% real quick. That'll work. More news. Northern Genesis, keep talking about them. Wind solar possible, maybe a clean spark play. Their website has been jacked up. They're moving something around for the past week. I don't know what. But it's been all messed up. This website was great, but it's been messed up. Here's the deal. So the units split today. The units went up. Who bought before that? I don't know. Regardless, you can split them, or at least wait a couple days. Maybe it's a little bit easier to wait a couple days because your broker's usually like, oh, no, we can't. Maybe you call back. I don't know. Just give them a couple days. It's a little bit easier to do. But the head of Northern Genesis also filed last night a new SPAC. That's also green. So what does that tell me? Like always, they probably already have plenty of companies that this awesome team has in mind to bring. The deal's probably pretty much done, even though the stuff is split. They already knew they were bringing, right? At least a couple of them. He's already filing for a new one, which tells me he already knows that he's got this other one in the bag, Northern Genesis. He's already filing for another one. It says a lot. No one's talking about that. No one's talking about that yet. AMCI changed the website too. I'll see my videos on AMCI. Go watch them if you haven't. We have another website change. Take a look at that. Take it with a grain of salt. They're talking about doing like more battery stuff or whatever. I don't know. Maybe like a hydrogen battery or something. What is it? But again, this one is just insanely low. I think it's like warrants like 80 cents or something, and comments sitting around the floor. Might be a decent one to get in. What do you guys think? Think it's good to get in now? Is anyone already in AMCI, or is it's kind of sketchy and you're just waiting? They're the ones who kept like extending it over and over and over and over again. Well, it's kind of a weird play. I saw another person said, hey, I saw you post URNXF ticker the other day and reminded me that I want to get into that. Are you in it? Looks very jumpy. So this is one of those kind of weird battery plays. I pulled out all the battery ones for what he was saying because they're jumpy, you know. I don't know. I don't like relying on stocks getting like one big contract or something. You know, we do that a lot, but still, it's not something I'm comfortable in if they're not SPACs, right? Because these things don't have floors and like whatever these are. I don't even remember what this thing's trading at, like 45 cents or something like that. It can still go to 5 cents, you know. And I don't want to invest in something that I pay 45 cents for and then it goes to 5 cents. You know, because this is still one of those ones that was kind of sketchy, you know. It's probably got like 40% jumps though, so you could just wait until it's down and everyone's jumping out and it looks half off or something and then maybe buy it. But again, I would still look at these as lottery tickets. I still would look at them as lottery tickets, you know. Some of the SPAC ones that are in the same realm that are kind of side plays to these, like the Romeo, right? RMG. I'd much rather have my money in RMG because I'm backed up. I'm backed up by the floor. It's a SPAC. And SPACs usually run the last month or two. But, you know, these can still take off. You could probably 5x your money if they get a banging contract, but if they get that contract, I don't know. It's just risky. Another person asked about AYRO. What's a good entry point? Support resistance, AYRO. So Patreon too. Let's take a look. See if we can't find anything. We definitely have a downslope. This is way more than 50% off. I don't even know what this is. What stock is it? What is this about? Does anyone know? EYRO? I don't know. Let's draw a line here. You don't want to get below 227 from June. So, you know, what happened, this looks like something, you know, obviously something new. It came out that it gapped up for whatever good news, but then it had to refill its gap. So what happened? It came back down. It refilled the gap perfectly right there. Bang. Yep, maybe something like that. And now we have this channel. You know, we can throw in a tortilla here. Maybe. Something like that. This is to me right now. It's looking like it's out of the channel here, but let's find out. Yeah, I would say this is. Man, I'd say this is kind of looking bullish-ish. Like it wants to kind of break, right? It wants to break. It's just doing that consolidation. It's getting tight in here. Because it broke above this channel here, this is slightly bullish. But again, remember the horizontals have more weight. So, you know, to be safe, you shouldn't be buying this until it gets over the 368. But they're doing the fake outs nowadays a lot. So a lot of times they'll go over this 368 up to 4 and they fake everyone out, get everyone to buy, and then come back down and crash. But if you want to be super safe, you could get a buy, you know, around 450. If you're super long the company, you can just buy it now. You know, it looks like it's consolidating. I don't know what this is though. So I can't tell you whether I would even look at it, but you know, just as generalized charting, the volume's down. Well, I mean, okay, we zoom in here and you see this massive red. This means the bears are out of honey. They're going back into hibernation. That usually means they're gone for a while, which usually means we're going to start heading north. You got a big green candle after that, but then it kind of just fizzled out again. You know, it's actually got a downward thing here. We want it to start kind of curling up a little bit. It's not really doing that. This needs volume, so this probably needs another catalyst. Is there any catalyst that could come out recently for this? Any new catalyst that can make this jump? That's what I would say this needs, a new catalyst. What is this about? Let me know. But just pay attention to those lines, you know, about 368. It's already cleared this gap, so we're fine. There's no other gaps it has to fill because it basically started it right in this channel that created at the beginning, and now it's just surfing that channel again. So watch the channel. Be safe. Any other plays y'all want me to take a look at, put them in the comments. If you want to join my Patreon, please do it. I'm sliding you guys more information and deals faster than anyone else. You're going to get a little bit better entry times and buys on that. It definitely helps out everybody. If you haven't been on our Twitter or Stockwits, please like us on there and share this video with your friends if you wouldn't mind, even on Facebook. I notice I'm actually getting plays on Facebook, which is funny to me ever since I started talking about it. So keep putting me on Facebook. Let's do it. What other websites y'all will put me on? I don't know, Reddit or something like that. That's cool too. All right, everyone, have a good rest of the day.
Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.